Okay, so I've already pulled some cards. What I'm seeing here is in the sacral chakra, there's a toxic pattern here. And what it does is it clogs every single one of your chakras, and it really affects your abundance. And it's the crone energy turned in on itself. So, what is the crone energy? Because the crone is an archetype. So, crone is an older woman. Crone is used to define an older witch or female Wiccan. Um, so the crone is a wise woman within who can consciously generate healing power. So this crone's power is in reverse. And this came out in another deck too. It was actually a tarot deck that it came out the crone in reverse. So you are a healer. And this crone specifically is a healer. Look at all the earth around her. Look at her wand. Look at she wields a lot. Um, she has a lot with her, a lot of magic, a lot of mystical, a lot of secrets. She has a lot of secrets too. A lot of watchers. This crone has been around for a long, long, long time, and she knows her shit. So I'm wondering why she's stuck in this energy. I want to say this. It's probably a divine feminine stuck in their energy. It's just kind of it's turned in on itself. So there's some soul fracture. Maybe you're not receiving the intuition that you think or that you should be receiving. Wow. Because you're fragmented and you're kind of stuck in the fragmented position. Um, I want to know what's causing it for my collective. What's causing this fragmentation? What's happening here? Oh, soul clutter. You have soul clutter. So, what is in there? What's right behind that in reverse, but I don't really like reverse with these, is go back to your youth, inner child work. So there's something in you that's fragmented from your childhood, inner child work, that's causing soul clutter, causing fragmentation, and causing this healing energy to turn in on itself. The crone should be in her power. She shouldn't be clogged up in all her chakras and killing her own abundance because of toxic patterns held in her sacral. So let's talk. Okay, so the inner child, the soul clutter, is held in the sacral here. So we know that. So then we want to know what's what's being held in there. Oh, and what you got is maybe you need to change your definition of what abundance means to you. These are my some of my shadow deck cards as well. Like, what does abundant mean to me? Where did that definition come from? Do I still agree with that definition? Why or why not? So maybe your value. So the crone actually is very wise. I wouldn't say that she's like the Hierophant, but she has her own ways of doing things. She has her own methods of magic, and in that she has her own practices and things of that sort. She knows who she is, what she is, how she feels about things. Maybe there's a part of you that has been questioning abundance. What is it? Where it comes from? Do I still agree with the definition? Why or why not? Um, and what do you understand about the energy of abundance? So now we're getting into the metaphysics of it, and we are pulling here from the sacral. So, what do you understand about the energy of abundance? So, abundance comes from a place of abundance, and maybe that's what your abundance also comes from your soul's purpose. Are you following your soul's purpose? So, we have some questions coming out in this reading. So, are you following your soul's purpose? I see confusion. Are you confused about your purpose? Oh, ooh. So in your heart, so gray means like almost like a standstill. And I had looked up the color gray not so long ago for a client that I was working with. Um, hmm. So gray can be conservatism, wisdom, feelings of calmness and seriousness, but in some contexts can an overuse of gray. I look at all this gray. She's wearing gray. This whole card is gray. Feels gray. An overuse of gray creates monotonous and boring environment. And then you have this trickery here. So what's the trickery? It's like the trickery. This is the heart showing. You feel the trickery kind of in your heart. Or maybe you were looking at something that you thought was going to give you a big payout or a big something or other, but it didn't go that way. It turned out to be something else. And so now you feel tricked and you feel confused, and this is laying right on top of your soul purpose and your soul clutter. Not sh- Give me more about the inner child. So remember awakening to something when you were a youth. Hmm. You were awakening to something when you were a youth. And it laid right on top of the trickery here. And that's causing confusion and soul clutter and throwing you off of what you believe to be true about abundance. Hmm. All right, let me see. Reading got me a little bit confused. I'm like, okay, what you got going on here? Well, that's not even supposed to be in this deck. This wasn't even supposed to be in this deck. Did you somehow believe in your youth What was fed to you to make you believe somehow you were fated to suffer? That's buried deep in, and you must realize that that's a trick. Your heart must be crying out, that's a trick. Like, you don't have to suffer in your purpose. You don't have to suffer. Who gave you this little piece of advice here, this little poison apple? Somebody gave you a poison apple that awakened you to thinking that you were fated to suffer, that these were not going to be right in your life. That, but it's a trick. That was a trick. That's a trick. That's not true. That's not true, baby. Hold on. Where the hell did that even come from? That's so the crone in reverse is the archetype scapegoat, inopportunity. These are the things that was given to you in this poison ass apple. The scapegoat, got the crone again. The crone is an older woman, maybe alone. Um, she's also very wise. In opportunity, you didn't get the opportunities that you wanted, or something didn't come through, but that all of this was fated to you. That you're cursed, you're under something, that you're fated to this. That's a trick, and that's the confusion. That's laying right on top of your purpose. This inner whatever this happened here laid on top of your purpose and is draining your abundance and is draining who you are. I'm not sure who laid this on top of you, and that's what you need to find. And you do that through nurturing yourself, through self-healing, and yeah, gotta nurture yourself. Maybe get you some rubies. Wear red to stimulate your passion and your compassion for yourself and for others and for everything else, and realize that this is a trick. You're not cursed. You're not. Um, that's the old toxic pattern. I'm not sure. Once again, there's archetypes. So you have to figure out what archetype laid that to you. Was it your mom? Was it? But it came to you in your youth. I'm gonna be honest. It doesn't have to be in your youth. It could just be in your inner child. There's things that hit your inner child that didn't even happen in your youth that travels back down to your inner child. I don't know if everybody kind of realizes that energy reverberates and time is linear. There's no past, present, or future. There are things that can happen right now that would touch an inner child from what we would say is the past. So there could be things that are happening now that are causing more conflict with your inner child and fragmenting even more. I don't know why. Sorry, my camera's doing that. And fragmenting even more in these areas, causing all this rupture. It's causing this. This right here, this means every single chakra is blocked. That would be why. So this is a grantis. This is grantis knots. If every single chakra is blocked, that means there's a grantis knot placed somewhere in the brain, and probably around the frontal lobe area, or maybe in the optical, in the back of the brain. But granted are psychic knots, and I can teach on that a little bit more. But you need to uncover what blocks have been placed inside of your psyche, inside of your mind, inside of your brain, and unlock that. Realize that that's a trick. The lock on your thinking, on your brain, is that inopportunity, you're fated to suffer. Um, something else. And all this is laid on top of your purpose. All this is laid on top of your purpose. And underneath the purpose is a toxic pattern. So maybe there's been a toxic pattern of this because you're blocked. It's gonna feel like a pattern. It's gonna look like a pattern, but it's not really a pattern. It's a blockage. It needs to be cleared. Um, I usually only do maybe like 15-minute readings, so that's my cue. But I want to get some healing cards if we could. And remember, this is just for the collective. Collective are all divine beings. Some of us are riding in our karmic energy and trying to rise above it. Some of us have already hit that divine energy and know we still got some stuff to go. Okay, you got metabolic. So this may be what's underneath. I'm disgusting, but what the truth is I'm a miracle. So you may think your situations are disgusting, your um, life is disgusting. I don't have any opportunities, and blah 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 blah. All that feels disgusting, right? Um, but this goes along with your self worth and nurturing yourself, your self healing here. And remember that you are a miracle. Like whatever you're going through, whatever's being blocked, the fact that you're still here, you are a miracle. Remember, awaken to the fact that you are a miracle. That miracles happen to you. You are not cursed. You are not lost. You are not plagued by inopportunity. Go back to your youth. Figure out when did this archetype creep in. What now in the present has made this archetype creep back in? All of this is just some self work to get you where you are because, or where you need to go because right now you are on a path to expansion. Your first card was fertility. She looks pregnant here, right? Looks like she's pregnant with the world or earth, or she's got a lot growing in her belly and a lot more given to her. So look at all that going into her. And it has to come out and be birthed. And she's got, this is coming from spirit guides and angels and ancestors, and they're trying to expand you. So we have the communication. It's communication as well. You have to communicate. You have to speak. You have to speak up for yourself and who you are and what you want to do. And it could be a throat chakra issue as well. Um, and this came out. Watch what you say. You're not alone. Um, I am one with all that is. You are never alone. Um, so I'm going to leave it at that for this healing reading. And I will be trying to just put these out, just short readings to help us heal, because the collective needs to heal. If you're on a twin flame journey, you're never going to meet them, or if you meet them, it's always going to be toxic because you have not healed. If you're not on a twin flame journey, which I really hope you're not, there's so many other things that with journeys that you could be on that in the collective you still need to heal. It's a lot of us that are needing to go ahead and get into our purpose because there are people waiting on us, right? So that's it, and I will hit you with another reading. Bye.